Okay, I just want to take you through one of the races at Cheltenham this season that we highlighted through one of the education preview evenings we had for Cheltenham. The race in question is the Diamond Jubilee National Hunt Chase over 4 miles. What I want to do is take you through the stats that we identified on the day. We've done these at the beginning of March, and then I want to take you on to how we convert those into a spreadsheet and analyse every single horse in the race, and then we take the spreadsheet into the day of racing, have a look at which horses have actually made the race and how we're going to bet them, how we're going to stake them, and how we hopefully make a profit out of the race at the end of it. So basically what you're looking for is you're looking for a horse that's had at least 4 runs that season. Only 1 out of the last 20 winners has had less than 4 runs in that National Hunt season. So it's quite a powerful stat, and one that we want to be looking for the animal that we decide that we're going to back to win the race. You would want between 3 and 13 chase starts, as 6 of the last 9 had run, 6 of the last 9 winners that is, had run 3 or 4 times over chase fences before they took on this particular chase race at Cheltenham. The age group of the winner, you want to avoid horses aged 5 and 6. 5-year-olds have never won this race in the past 34 years, and 6-year-olds have only had 1 winner from the last 49 attempts. Horses aged over 9, 3 winners from 99 which have attempted to win this race. So again, not a strong profile for them either. So you're really looking for 7 and 8-year-olds, or 7, 8 and 9-year-olds to win this one. You're really looking for a horse that's in its first season of chasing. 7 of the last 8 winners have come from first season chasers. However, I would also be inclined to include lightly raced second season chasers as well, because they do win these races occasionally. So basically you're looking for a horse which has recently been introduced to chasing and hasn't actually performed too many chase starts, hence the 3 to 13 at the top, 0.2. So that's what you're looking for there. I would also look for horses that have got recent, some good form recently. You certainly want horses that were placed last time out, as 25 out of the last 28 winners were first, second, third or fourth last time out. An exception to that was last year's winner, who was 5th, but it was in a Grade 1 chase, so you can almost allow for that. But I would be looking at horses in the first 4, because that's where the majority of the winners have come from. Over the last few years, or the last 28 years, were in this race. You also want to find horses that have ran in Class 2 or better company. 15 of the last 18 winners of this race have run in Class 2 or better. And you can see those without Class 2 form, that basically there's been 50 horses have tried to win without Class 2 form, but unfortunately none of them have been successful. So that starts to build a profile of the winner of this particular race from a statistical point of view. We'll now have a look at how we convert this into a spreadsheet. So moving on to our spreadsheet then. This is the spreadsheet. As you can see, the last time I updated this was on the 2nd of March, which was just before we'd done the preview events in Dublin for Betfair Education Department. And you can see that what I've done basically is I've got every single horse that was declared for the race at that date, and this goes down to 59, so we start from row 3, so there's 57 runners still declared for the race, which is still a significant amount of horses. And basically what we do is we go through each one. We've got the selection, the trainer, its form. I'll take off the filter so that you can see what all these headings are. So basically we've got the selection, the trainer, its form. DSLR is days since last run. This will be the number of days it won't have been on the course since, provided it goes ahead and does contest the race. The age of the horse at the time of the race, the weight it'll be carrying. Was it 4th or worse last time out? You may remember the stat had to be 1st, 2nd, 3rd or 4th. How many chase starts has it had? Has it run in a Class 2 or better? Is it a first season chaser? Number of runs this season, and the current back and lay prices available within Betfair. Now as you can see, if we just take a look at Sol at the moment, it fails 3 stats. It's currently at the head of the market. It's only had 2 chase starts this season. It's never ran in Class 2 or better, and it's only had 2 runs, which coincides with that one. But 8.4, 8.8. I mean, if you're interested in laying it at significantly high numbers, well, that may be the one for you. Also, Harry the Viking. Now, I've actually got the days since last run, 76. I've highlighted that in orange. I don't recall off the top of my head exactly what the stat was, but it's something that it's not a red. I've just highlighted in orange the fact that it hasn't run for so long. Also, what I've done is, with this particular one, it's only had 2 chase starts and it hasn't run in class 2 form again. So again, they're the 2 negatives. Now what I have done is all the ones in green are the ones that are fairly statistically sound based on the profile that you've just seen in the PowerPoint presentation or in the slide. Alligard, T43, Alfie Spinner, but there's also a few down here at decent prices as well who are, as far as we can see, statistically, they tick all the right boxes. Now obviously not all these horses are going to run in the race, and I've only gone down to Lively Baron because it takes too much time to go through every single runner. What we do is we'll take this spreadsheet and we'll look at it again a bit nearer the race. I mean, we're still a good 2 weeks away from the race actually being run. Maybe look at it on a weekly basis, take out the horses that haven't been moved to other races or horses that are just not going to contest this race anymore, and then we can start and drill down into even further analysis and see if we can identify the winner of this particular race. So this is stage 2 of the process. Stage 1 is compiling the stats in the first place. Once you've got the stats, you then need to analyse every runner in the race, and that's what this stage is. So the next thing that we would do is we continue to do this, like I say, on a weekly basis, all the time, looking at the analysis, looking at the prices. There may be some anti-post value in taking some of these at an early price. If not, then it would be on the day of the race where we would make a decision as to how we're going to stake the race. So we'll move on now to the day of the race and see how we got on then. This is on the first race on the Wednesday, the Diamond Jubilee National Hunt Chase, which is the one we've been analysing all the time. And basically this was what Guy Ward wrote up on the day of the race to show us what he thought might potentially happen. Basically, you'll remember from the original slide and also the Excel spreadsheet that we find this a fascinating race to try and work out. The first thing that we're saying is that Sol is under-raced and one to avoid. And remember, in the spreadsheet, this was a horse that was near the top of the betting. He's only had 2 chase starts, and both on right-handed tracks. And also he's had less than 4 races this season. These will be the red ones that you remember from the spreadsheet. And we know that almost every winner has to have more than 4 races this season. He's also coming up from 2 miles 4 furlongs. I mean, this is a 4-mile race, and his trainer has been stated that he wished he'd had at least 1 more race, and inexperience could well be a factor. His profile doesn't look right, and so therefore we're saying that, you know, statistically that this horse has got big problems, you know. Dufferin Seal is similar reasons, and also his sire hasn't put out a winner yet beyond 3 miles. So again, that's a negative for Dufferin Seal. And Universal Soldier is another under-raced horse, and again, his sire hasn't bred a winner over this distance either. And he has had 3 chase runs, but the sire and the under-raced are big negatives. One of the horses is that's fairly high up in the betting is Harry the Viking, but we think he also has some problems. He's only had 2 chase starts this season. Again, something that we put in the spreadsheet. He's had a 76-day absence, which was what I had highlighted in orange, because that doesn't really help either. And really we would want him to have had more chase runs, and certainly a more recent one. 76 days is a bit too long to win this race. All the winners recently have had more back class than he has, and there's also a doubt about his stamina. I mean, again, his sire hasn't had a winner beyond 3 mile 3. This is 4 miles. It's not easy to get. In fact, it's very tough to get. So that's the reason that we're against Harry the Viking in the race as well. Other horses to avoid with poor recent runs, basically they haven't finished in the first 4, is Our Island. Didn't do enough. Strongbow's Legend, Ben's Folly, and Blenheim-Brook, who is an outsider with a chance, but again, we're not sure he's going to stay the 4 miles. So this is what we do. We go through all of these races, hopefully the ones in the at the beginning of the, you know, early in the betting to start with, and then we'll take it from there. We'll have a look at some of the handicap horses in there, and the ones that I've had a look at, none of these won within the past month. Most horses from handicaps came from the novice handicap. Those that come from ordinary handicaps there's been one winner out the last 84, so they're the kind of ones that you can almost rule out. But then again, they are at a decent price. One winner that did come out those 84 was from a graded handicap. And Ian Chancellor, who's come from an ordinary handicap, he's also had disappointing preparation, and he lacks the back class to win an event like this. So we're down to a short list now because we've managed to write off various horses. Ali God is one of the sexier runners. He's one of the horses at the top of the market. Statistically, he's got the ticks in all the boxes. You may remember from the spreadsheet he was highlighted in green. It's just stamina again, and he's French bred. He's only won at 3 miles before. That win was his sire's longest winner from all of his runners. There's no real evidence to support the fact that Ali God's going to win this over 4 miles. Now, one thing we did identify back at the beginning of March was that 6-year-olds were really struggling in this race. But what Guy's done is he's revisited that stat and he's had a look at it more closely. And basically what he's found out is that there are a few 6-year-olds who have actually gone fairly close to winning this race. And basically horses age 6 that started in the first 8 horses in the bedding, which Four Commanders does, and running within 50 days, who've had at least 3 previous starts, like all past winners. And the records of 6-year-olds with this profile isn't that bad. They've finished 2nd, 16th, there was a winner, a 5th, a faller, a 10th, and a 2nd. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8 races, 3 seconds and a winner. Perhaps the 6-year-old stat needs to be revisited. So that's what Guy did, and he had a look at it, and he drilled into it a little bit further. So while Four Commanders was written off on the spreadsheet because he's a 6-year-old, it's not actually that bad a stat now that we're considering it. But basically they still have to match all of the other profiles for the potential winner as well, you know. It's only 3 years since one won, and if it's the right type of 6-year-old and not being asked to do something too hard like defy inexperience or a long absence, then the record suggests that these horses actually do quite well. So the Livery Baron is a massive price at 33 to 1, but while he's fine, he's got good serious connections, he just may not have the toe to win. Blenheim Brook is another outsider at 20 to 1. He might like the class, but he does have positives. Alfie Spinner, as we've expressed before, he's got no problem statistically. You remember he was green in the spreadsheet. We're just concerned over whether he's going to be able to stay 4 miles. But he does have a chance. But T43 we think is statistically sound. He's in top class form. He's had 3 chase starts and excuses in the 4th. He's done really well in his 3. The ground should be fine this time for him. His sire Oscar has already bred the winner of this race once before, and therefore he must have a very good chance of winning this race. And you will remember that he was identified in the spreadsheet early on. Guy has had T43 penciled in for this race for a long time now, but he's not 100% sure that it is a completely safe selection, i.e. he wouldn't like to just put it up on its own. He's not happy with the trainer's festival pedigree and also the ground. Alfie Spinner and Ali Gard, we've decided that the stamina is just going to be too much for them. However, Blenheim Brook Lively Baron could well surprise the market and win at a big price. But also Four Commanders as a 6-year-old, which is something that was written off from the very early days on the original analysis of the race. But we think he's got the right type of profile as a 6-year-old, and certainly you could do a lot worse than backing him. So Four Commanders is in the right group, and Guy thought he could go close today. So basically we've narrowed the field down to 2. We think that the winner will be between Four Commanders and T43. So this is on the morning of the race. Now what we need to do is have a look at the betting and work out a strategy to get these 2 on our side and see if we can maybe go against some of the shorter price horses by reverse touching them or something like that. And let's have a look at the race now and see how we decided to bet it.